I am so excited to start a new Dinkum Island with you. With the Switch finally getting this game, I thought now would be the perfect time. I am playing on PC, but it shouldn't be that much of a difference. I have almost 500 hours total in this game, so I'm hoping to be able to bring some tips and tricks to anyone that hasn't played before. I'm going to finish getting my character all set up and then we'll get right to it. As I always do, I am going to call myself Pink Chair, and then for our island, we're going to name this one Aussie Cove. It is now time to respond to the Help Wanted ad from Fletch and head to the island. Okay, here's our first look at the island. I can't wait to see what we got. Oh my gosh, there is a teletower right at the docks. We're going to go ahead and talk to Fletch and then I'll meet her outside. Here is our first look at our map, and this one looks really cool. My first instinct is to set up town on this little itty bitty island that's right here, right at the docks, and then we can always move the town later, which is what I usually end up doing. But for now, let's go ahead and talk to Fletch and start investigating the island. The first thing on our agenda is to set up the base tent, which is basically our resident services building. The cool thing about Dinkum is time doesn't actually start until you place it and your tent. So I'm going to go ahead and investigate the island first to find all of the teletowers and do some foraging. I have found the South Tower, and I'm not going to lie, this looks really cool. Usually the South Tower is on an island that isn't very accessible. This little area, however, has a decent amount of plains, but we still have some pine trees, which gives us quick access to bottle brush and apples. I have never started an island in the southern region before, but I think I like this better than where the docks were. I'm going to keep investigating for the rest of the towers before I make a final decision, but for right now, this spot is at the top of my list. Okay, so I found the second teletower, and this isn't a terrible place either. But I still think I like that first one better. We're over on this side, and there is still like some dirt type stuff. I feel like this is almost too barren, and I don't know that I like this river formation and just the way things are set up. Don't think I'm going to be using this one, but let me at least go find the last teletower. I think that first one that we found, not the one at the dock, but the other one is probably going to be where we set up. Here's the last tower, and as expected, it's in the middle of the tropical forest, which has lots and lots of hills. Not exactly optimal for setting up camp. I'm going to go ahead and finish gathering some resources and then make a final decision where I want the camp to go. I have made a decision, and we are going to place the town at the South Tower. Something about this area just feels right. Now I just have to figure out where the base tent is going, and I think I'm going to put it right here. Next on the agenda is placing my tent, and I don't want to be too far away from the center of town. I found this cute little dugout spot with some cool landscaping behind it, and I think this will work just fine. Now that we have the base tent and my tent placed, we have one more structure, and that's the visitor's tent. This is where NPCs will come before their permanent residents on the island. I want this to feel like a camping area. I found this cute little space up on the cliffs surrounded by trees and decided to place it here. Now that we have that out of the way, it's time to check in with Fletch, and she is going to give us her father's old adventure journal. This is going to allow us to unlock achievements and earn permit points. But before we start doing anything with that, Fletch wants us to bring her some fruit. In return, we'll learn how to craft a campfire. Lucky for her, I found plenty while I was out foraging around the island. Using the crafting table at the back of the tent, I got the campfire crafted, and Fletch rewarded me with a bug net. So I'm going to spend some time catching bugs and cooking fruit so we have stuff to sell for tomorrow. For our last order of business, Fletch is going to give us a sleeping bag that we can put down, and I'm probably going to put mine in my tent, and that will allow us to go to sleep and actually progress to the next day. Alright, with my campfire in hand, we are going to place this, and I'm actually going to put it in the water, and you'll find out why in a minute. We're going to go ahead and cook some fruit. The limes are really good to give us some energy. Apples are great for healing, but the lime will also heal you a little bit if you need to. But we're going to cook a couple of these up, and the reason that I put this in the water is if you happen to accidentally run through the fire, you will catch on fire, which will do damage to you. But by keeping it in the water, you immediately put the fire out. So yeah, that's the reason for doing that. Before we get too far into too much else, let's go ahead and redeem our permit points. We have some for collecting shells. And then our next one is actually just putting down our tent, which is, is points. So we'll take them. And then our next one is for exploring around the island. And some of these you'll only get one time. You'll see the one at the bottom. Some of these, however, you'll continue to get stuff later. So this one, because I did quite a bit of walking, we were able to get that one. And then the next redemption is at 20 kilometers. And then for this one, for harvesting all the fruit that I did. So yeah, we've collected a decent amount of points already. And tomorrow we will be able to get some licenses from Fletch. The other big thing that we can do today is catch bugs, so I am going to spend most of the rest of the day doing this, and I'll meet you back at the end and show you my haul. The residents of Dinkum love to have places where they can sit down, so I crafted one of the early game items, which is the gum log seat, and placed it right outside of the little tent so they had a place to sit. I think I've caught everything I'm going to for today, and one of the things I'm really bad about doing is not donating one of each of the first ones I get, so I'm making sure to set these out somewhere so that I have them for the museum, and then the rest of them I'll be able to sell to John tomorrow. Before going to bed, I'm going to redeem the last of the points I've earned. I'm really happy with how this first day went. This island is amazing, and I already have ideas for what I want to do with it. I hope you've enjoyed this first day with me on Aussie Cove. It would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button, as it really does help the channel. But for now, we are off to bed. Good night.